Mesachas Pesachim daf ayin vav. The Gemara brings the machlokes Rav Shmuel. If the toy govar or loy govar, if you have cham b'toich tzoynin, something hot falls into something cold, does the item on the top, if you hold a loy govar that makes blias in the item on the bottom, and if you hold a toy govar, if on the bottom is hot, it will give blias to the item that fell in from the top. So the Yehuda was asked an interesting question. How could it be that there's a machlokes Rav Shmuel, if a loy gova, a toy gova, which one of the two items is goyva and gives tam another? Let's check it out. There's a loch in Vor, the Gemara in Chulin, the time of Kfilah, you could taste. And if you're not sure if there's a taste of the Isser or not, you give it to a goy to taste in a situation the goy has namonos, or if it's a question of terumah, you give it to a kohen to taste, and the kohen will taste to see if there is blias or there's no blias. How could it be that it's a machlokes Rav Shmuel in such a question? Let's just check it out. So the Yehuda says that be'emes, a similar question you could ask, even in the Gemara in Chulin Daf Tzadiches, the Gemara is a machlokes if Gabi Yisurim is about Shishim, about more than Shishim. He says, well, how does it pass a machlokes? Let's check it out. Let's time of Kfilah. You should have a taster taste it, and it'll be clear what halacha is. So the Yehuda says that be'emes, on the ik halacha or Rav Shmuel, it's not shver, because we're talking about min b'minoi, or in the situation you don't have someone available to test it out. And when it's min b'minoi, it's both the is and the het is the same taste. It doesn't pass to check it out with the kfilah. But the Yehuda says that you could ask the question that in a situation where it's min b'she'enim minoi, which will pass to be nisbar, and you have a taster taste to see if there's blias from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top, and you'll be able to prove from the person that tasted when was min b'she'enim minoi, you'll be able to see from there, once the halacha all over, from that you should push it the entire shaila from a case of min b'she'enim minoi. And that thing he says, no, you can't bring a raya from one case that someone tasted it, to all cases, because this halacha of Eloi Gova to Toy Gova is not a moifis choitech, it's not a clear-cut rule all over that no matter what, every single situation would be either Eloi Gova to Toy Gova, so therefore you can't necessarily bring a proof from one tasting that what the halacha is in all situations. And even where it could be pilot, it's not necessarily always pilot, so you can't prove it. And of course, it says, according to this, is Miyoshev, how we have machlokes, Meliach Kiriseach, or Kovish Kamavushal, how does the pastor say it's machlokes in such a halacha? You should just taste it. Elamai, you see, you can't prove it from one case. I the Aruch HaShulchan that answers this kasha in a different mahalach. He says that's a vor that you could have a taster be oimid on the taste. That's only in a situation when it's kimnul chazal that there is blias. Then a guy tasting it could prove that there is blias. But in a situation that there is no isser lefia kabbalah, so then a guy is not neman to say there's not isser. And you have a case of klisheni that's not mavashal. According to many Rishonim, and klishish is definitely not mavashal. The guy would say that he tasted, he's definitely not neman. The klal is ein amonas bei a guy. Moving for the other Gemara on Beis brings machlokes Rav Shmuel if reicha milsi, reicha lav milsi. And the Gemara has a kasha from a brayso that says you can't roast two korban pesachs together. The Gemara says my lav is because of timing, that the taste of one go into the other, and shver according to Levi holds reicha lav milsi. The Gemara says no, because the taruv is gufin. Rashi explains that the Gemara's kasha is because if the tam of one korban paisach goes to the other korban paisach, the problem is that it's shloilim nuyav, that someone that's a nimna on korban paisach aleph and he's getting a taste from korban paisach beis, he cannot eat korban paisach beis because it's shloilim nuyav. Ayin of Sameach brought in Sefer Zera Avram and all the achronim that are matmiya from this Gemara on the Chiddush from the Rash Mishans and Teres Koyanim that says that's avoid the Teres Koyanim that there is no isser to eat shloilim nuyav. The whole din of shloilim nuyav is that you need a minu in the korban pesach to be yotzi dechivasai. But if you eat in the korban pesach that you don't have a minu, you're not over on the isser. So the achronim asked that sarchi, and according to Rash Mishans, how do you learn this Gemara? What is the issue of being tzeileya two korban pesachs together? What's wrong with having the taste from one korban pesach go to the other korban pesach? And the Sefer Maaseh Moshe says a teretz to this kasha. He says a tremendous chiddush that even the Rosh Mishans that says there's no issue, that's only after you ate your korban pesach. After you eat your korban pesach, then you could go and eat someone else's korban pesach, and there's no issue shleim. The whole din is that you're not yotze deichavosa. But before you mekayim your mitzvahs achilas korban pesach, even the Rash Mishans agrees that there is a issue of eating from a korban pesach shleim nuya. Remember, it's tzarchi in this mahalach, because I in the Rash Mishans that says that's a war that you can't eat shleim nuya just means that you're not mekayim the mitzvah according to the Maaseh Moshe. The Rash Mishans could have said that means before you mekayim mitzvahs korban pesach, there's an issur to eat shleim nuya. And furthermore, the Rash Mishans brings a proof that there's no issur to eating shleim nuya, because the halacha is a cotton could eat from a korban pesach. He says, how could a cotton eat from a korban pesach? It's not a mitzvah from a mitzvah achilas korban pesach. Elamai, you see, there's no issur. The whole din is that he's not yotzi deichavosa. And tzarichin, according to the Maaseh Moshe, that there is an issur in a situation when you did not yet be mekayim the mitzvahs korban pesach, then tzarichin, even a cotton should have an issur. If he's concerned, you be machil a cotton be a dayim, it should be a problem if before his yotze yidei chayvasa of korban pesach, unless you say that a cotton is different because he doesn't have a mitzvah. The tzarichin oid bezeh. And the ikar divrei Rash Mishans that proves from that a cotton can eat from korban pesach. You see, there's no issur shleim nuyav. Ayin toises daf pechas amrav zavur that there's no issur machila biyadayim when it's regarding chinuch and mitzvahs. And emes it's mavur from the Rash Mishans, not like Reb Chaim's mahalach in the Rambam. Reb Chaim learns b'das Rambam that a cotton that eats a korban pesach rishon is potter from pesach sheni kishiyagdil. And he says, why is it different than of shoyter eats matzah? When he's a shoyter, he has to go eat matzah again when he becomes well. And Chaim explains two mahalchim. First of all, because you yotzi yidei korban pesach, even though a cotton doesn't have a mitzvah achilas korban pesach, besides the mitzvah there's also a din korban, and that a cotton has. And he says furthermore, even in the mitzvah it's cholak achilas matzah and korban pesach. By achilas matzah the only have the mitzvah achilas matzah, and what makes the achilas matzah into a mitzvah is the chiyuv. And since you don't have a chiyuv by a cotton, it's not a mitzvah b'chal. However, by a cotton, by korban pesach, that the korban is good for mashvi. This akrov into a mitzvah, even though cotton is not by chiyuva, that it's korban's oil is mashvi into a mitzvah. So you see from Reb Chaim understands, but that's Rambam, even a cotton has a mitzvah by korban pesach. It's not like the mahalach of the Rash Mishans. Moving further on, the Mishnah says chamisha dvorim boim betumah v'einam necholin betumah. Dachroinim klera chakira. What is the havana in this halacha that you have a korban that you could bring betumah because tumah's hutru b'tzibur, but nevertheless the korban is not nechal? The Biskurov says you could say in two ways. Either the pshat is because although there's a heter to bring the korban betumah, it's only the gabi the hakrova, but that's not matter the achilas basar b'chlal. And the klapi the achilas basar, it's as if the korban was brought betumah, or the havana is because the korban became tomei. That since there was a krova betumah, so that was metama the basar. And in a situation when the basar is not tomei, you'll be able to eat a korban abba betumah. So Briskrov says that it's machlokes Yishayim. Tosis and Zvachim says that since you learn out oinin the gabit isar krova from a tummy, the same way a korban b'tumah is not necheles. Who adin a korban that's brought by aninas you can't eat because you're learning out from tumah. However, the Shita Mebetzes argues and says you can't compare it. He says b'yisoida you have a korban that's brought by tumah, you'll be able to eat the korban. That you can't eat is because it became tummy. However, by oinin that's not metama this korban, you should be able to eat the basar. And B'skrov's medayik from the Rambam, that Rambam's also mashma, like the Shita Mubet says, that the reason why you can't eat the basar is because it became tamei. And the B'skrov in Menachos explains further that Tosis and the Rambam are going in the Shita Asoi. The Tosis holds that by Tumas Gavra, there's no halacha of Ritzitzitz, just have the halacha of Tumah Hutru B'tzibur. So the halacha of Tumah Hutru B'tzibur is only Nemar on the hakrova and wasn't matir the achilas basar b'chlal. However, the Rambam understands that besides for the halacha of Tumah Hutch, but you also have a Ritzui Tzitz. So the Ritzui Tzitz is Mahani to be mated Achilas Basar. And the only time that you can't eat the basar is when it became Tamei B'Poyel.